Hey guys, Coach Adams here, and today we're going to take a look at Trea Turner of the Washington Nationals. Champion. That sounds good, doesn't it? Champion. All right, we're going to take look at a couple things in his swing. Um, this guy is just fast, and he uses that in his game. He uses that in his swing. It's a huge part. Um, he likes to hit a lot sharper line drives, a little lower. Tries to get on base by putting the ball on the ground and really outrunning the fielders. So we're gonna take a look at how he's still able to get behind the ball to hit the ball hard. Because even though he might roll over sometimes when he's fooled. He rolls over a lot when he's fooled, and we'll take a look at why. Um, he's still able to get behind the ball and hit the ball sharply and hard. Right. So let's take a look at the first thing I always look at is his head, right? And when he starts his load, does his head track in a downhill position, right? Just like that, just downhill, like he's rolling downhill when he starts his swing. Let's see. Nice and easy. Holds that backside well and tracks downhill, right? Foot foot plants here, and he's tracking downhill with his head. His eyes are out there on the ball, right? His hands are high when he lands, right? Right on top of his back foot, right? Maybe if we push those hands back a little bit, we might get a little more stretch, a little more power. I like it right on top of the back foot. I think his body might be able to do it. Do that. I don't know. It's something he might need to see if he's comfortable with. But the thing I don't like here is that his back hip would be right around here, and his head is a little bit too out in front, right? If anything, I accept his head being at the midline of his body, but his head is a little in front of that, right? So maybe if we can move this head back to a position where it's not so out in front over his front side, he'll be able to stay back and, probably hold the position better to see a breaking ball, see a changeup, and not be so out in front where he now has to, roll over and hit the ball sharp. Even though he hits it like sharply, he gets it behind the ball well. It's just a lot of pull side grounders. Um, but yeah, let's see. And another thing, but some things I do like. I just don't like that head coming too far forward. I can't get over that. You will see some other swings where it's just boom, he's crashing into his front side, and that's where he'll come around the ball. But let's get to some good things. Let's get to some positive things because I like to see the positive things and I like to reinforce the positive things because this guy's a great hitter, 300 hitter, really has great speed, really steals a lot of bases. I think is top five in triples every year, so he really knows how to get into position to score, which is what we want, right? Good thing that he does is that when his leg starts going this way, his hands stretch back, right? So he starts going forward, his hands stretch back, and he wants to keep those hands right here, right above that back leg. All right, let's clear this all out. And I want to keep those hands right there as if they're tied to a wall there. Boom. From there, I'm just stretching it back, keeping it there, right? And now over here, I want to take a look at something uh, pretty special here, which is a move I try to get most kids to understand that they're making. They're not pushing their hands immediately necessarily. You're not pushing your hands down immediately. You're not going this way immediately, right? What you want to see is this little turn where that elbow comes through and those hands kind of go back, right? And if you're able to do that, that means that your backside, your legs are getting engaged there to make your swing come through instead of your hands pushing your swing to get through, right? And he does a good job here of getting into the zone deep, right? So he'll be able to hit a ball from here to probably out here. That's about, I don't know, 3 feet of coverage. Boom, he could get a ball there and probably hit it down the line or hit a foul, right? Hard, which is what we want, hitting the ball hard. To boom, out there, nice and easy. I love to emphasize turning your body for your hands to get through. Look at how he turns his body with his shoulders. His hands move with his shoulders. His hands are not thrown, right? Until he fully turns, and then his body throws his hands forward on a trajectory. Oh, let me get that curved line, man. Right here, hit it through, up. And this guy's a little flatter because he's trying to get those line drives, um, right through the infield and trying to run them out. But it's still behind the ball, and the hands are thrown up through the ball. Look, he gets a little higher than that line. Boom. Right? I don't ever want to feel like my hands are coming off of my shoulder and they're going down. Right? If they do that, I'm gonna cut across a lot of pitches. I'm gonna hit a lot of pop-ups to first. I'm gonna hit a lot of ground balls to third and shortstop. And I don't know if I'm gonna want to play baseball a lot if half the time they're throwing me out and or I'm popping it up embarrassingly to the first baseman or pitcher. Right? So getting behind the ball is very important, just to have fun in baseball, to continue your career there. Boom, turning with your body, letting those legs turn, letting that elbow is still bent here, right? And I extend through after the ball, right? So after contact is when I want to extend through with both my elbows. And the last thing I want to check out, right, is his legs. For a small guy, this guy really gets involved with his legs. Over here, he starts, right? I got a rod here in this back shin, right? Straight up and down. And again, my back pocket, right, is pushing out. Kind of want to show it to the third baseman a little bit. That rear pocket. Boom. As I go forward, I hold this leg, I hold that leg. Boom. And once I land with my heel, my other heel comes up. So this heel lands, this heel comes up. And I want this butt right here to fight to get around through first. Right? And the elbow, of course, follows behind the butt. Right? I want my hips to lead and my hands follow. And then you see right here, the hands are just boom, thrown off the shoulder, up. And they're thrown by the body. I don't have to push them forward. I don't have to make too much effort. It's a loose swing. Loose is fast. Looseness allows for quickness. And then when he ends up here, right? Let's take a back a little bit. A good way to know if my legs have gotten engaged is if my knee ends up in front of my butt, right? So if my knee ends up in front of my butt, okay? Right here, he starts here with a rod, right? Let me use that. As if I had a rod right here sticking through my shin. And then I end up, if that butt gets around, my knee should end up in front of where my butt would be. Yeah. I think this guy's gonna get a lot better because he has some pretty good hitters on his squad to learn from. I mean, he doesn't have Anthony Rendon anymore, but he's growing up there with Juan Soto, who's a natural hitter. Um, and yeah, this guy's gonna keep on learning, and he's been getting better each year. 2018 was a big year for him, where things started to really turn around. And I think this World Series confidence is probably gonna give him a little more of a boost in his progression. So yeah, this that guy, bro. It's that guy. Get with the program.